Guys, currently in Dragon Ball Super, several sagas have already passed, and we have seen several villains over time, especially villains that were previously non-canonical, such as Broly himself. After the events of the most recent saga of Dragon Ball Super, which is the saga of the film Dragon Ball Super, Superhero, both Goku and Vegeta are training more and more to improve their skills. After both were easily defeated by Frieza, they decided that they would have to work harder and harder to acquire more powers and surpass Frieza's powers. But what if the next villain in the franchise isn't Frieza? What if Toyotaro ended up introducing a non-canon villain into the franchise? With your own story and everything? Guys, if you're enjoying the video, leave a like and help the channel grow even more. Let's help the channel. And now let's go back to the video. Well, a character that has a good chance of appearing is Android number 21, as she has already been introduced in the Dragon Ball Super superhero film saga. However, she was introduced as Vomi, Dr. Gero's wife. That is, she was still a human in her introduction. But that's where Toyotaro's masterstroke lies, and if he were to explore the character already in his android phase? We don't know what happened to Vomi, as details about her are minimal in the film. However, Toyotaro could take advantage of the character's quote and develop her for the franchise itself, don't you think? With that, we would have a new saga exploring more about androids, and perhaps this time other androids will be introduced in this new saga, right? Android 13, 14, and 15 could also appear, as they never even appeared in the original work. There is also the detail that Toriyama himself states that the projects for androids 13, 14, and 15 were considered failed projects by Dr. Gero himself. So he never continued with these androids. But what if Vomi, or rather, Android number 21, develops a methodology for these androids to be awakened? They could even help her defeat the Z fighters, and as they are androids before androids 16, 17, and 18, they would obviously be weaker. However, Android number 21 could fortify them to an adequate level. But, well, remember guys, what was canonized in the work itself was Vomi, who is Dr. Maki Gero's wife. Android number 21 is not canon yet. At least not yet. Android number 21 was created with the purpose of being inserted into a Dragon Ball game, which in this case is the Dragon Ball game Fighther Z, where it tells a completely alternative story to the main canon. And as Android number 21 and Vomi are completely different people, it is impossible to know if Toyotaro would really canonize Android number 21 in the work. Anyway, it would be great if Android number 21 was canonized, as she proved to be an extremely strong character in the Dragon Ball FighterZ game, so she could even give the Z Warriors a certain difficulty, and how would she be? Introduced in Dragon Ball Super, her powers would certainly be fully increased so that she can deal with current warriors like Goku and Vegeta. Maybe Toyotaro will develop his own story for the creation of Android number 21, as she was an android created to be based on Vomi, so he could end up developing a good story about it all. We could even learn more about old villains like Dr. Gero, and also about his family. An interesting curiosity is that Android number 21 had its design developed by Akira himself. So, who knows, maybe Akira himself could suggest that Toyotaro make her canonical in Dragon Ball Super, right? Android number 21 is an interesting character. She has an eye-catching design and also has her own personality. She could be a good character for Toyotaro to introduce once and for all into the Dragon Ball Super canon. Who knows? Perhaps this would be an omen that Toyotaro could introduce some non-canonical villains into the work of Dragon Ball Super. After all, if he canonized Vomi, who is Dr. Gero's wife, why wouldn't he add Android number 21, right? In addition to further expanding things about androids, Toyotaro could further develop Android number 21 as a character. It would definitely be something incredible for the narrative of Dragon Ball Super, and certainly a proposed saga mainly for Android number 21 would be something wonderful and very unexpected for us, the passionate Dragon Ball fans. Well, as I said before, it is not mandatory that only Android number 21 appears. Other androids such as Android 13, 14, and 15 could also appear and further expand these characters in the work. After all, if even Broly was canonized, and its story has been completely reset to Dragon Ball Super standards, why wouldn't they be too, right? Perhaps this is an opportunity and a warning from Toyotaro that he would start adding non-canonical characters to the work. Not necessarily he will add all the characters, but he could add the characters he found interesting to create a saga, especially for them and so on. Confirming its canonization in the work, it is the same case as android number 21, which may end up being introduced in the work in the future. Just imagine, androids that were previously non-canon being introduced today in Dragon Ball Super. Of course, their level would be well below the traditional level that Dragon Ball reached. However, they could be used in another way, or even they could become even stronger than their versions in the films, since, as we know, Toyotaro, he doesn't take a non-canonical character and simply insert him with the story he was introduced in the films. No, he doesn't do that. He innovates on the character and creates a new story for him, just as it was with Broly himself. If you guys are helpful attention, Broly from the Dragon Ball Super movie. Super Broly is totally different from Broly from the movies. If we take this logistics, then Toyotaro will do the same thing with android number 21. He will invent a totally new and innovative story, a new personality for the character and everything else that she can introduce into the work in an appropriate way. But what about you? What do you think about this? Do you think it's possible that android number 21 ends up becoming canon? As we know, Vomi is the canonized character, and not android number 21, so many things could end up happening for this character to be introduced in the current work of Dragon Ball Super. But then, do you think Toyotaro would have the courage to add another non-canonical character to the work? Look, the possibilities are not low if you pay attention. Toyotaro added and even explored a new race for the work, which in this case is the Serial Jin's race, so he could add a non-canonical character and give it his own story for him. Well, anyway, I want to know your opinion. Do you think it is possible for Toyotaro to do this? If that happened, would you like a completely new character to be added to the canonical work? Comment your opinions below, please. As you may already know, your opinions are extremely important for the video itself. They help me to see your points of view on the video that I created, and as you are my subscribers, the least all I can do is see your opinions on all this. I don't know if you know, but the Dragon Ball Super manga didn't completely end the saga of the Dragon Ball superhero film. We could see that the henchmen from the film were still present in the manga. However, they made an appearance a little quick. But this could be something that gives us hope. Perhaps Toyotaro himself is using them as a source of information so that he can finally reveal to us that android number 21 would be in the canonical work. Perhaps she appears with the aim of defeating Goku, like the other androids. But as we know, android number 21 has two personalities, her good side and her evil counterpart, which most of the time is predominant over the good side of android number 21. But what do I mean by that? What I mean is that android number 21 could even be inserted as a villain in a supposed saga. However, she would end up having incredible development so that she can become a companion to Goku and his friends, since as I said previously, android number 21 has two sides. Well, that's it. Comment what you think about the appearance of android number 21 in the canon. I'll be very grateful if you comment. What we have left now is to wait for Toyotaro to make this a reality. Guys, the video will end here. Did you like the themes? Comment. I would love to know the opinion of other Dragon Ball fans about what could happen in the work. Remember, I left your like and subscription. This helps the channel a lot. Oh, and also it would be wonderful if you shared this video with your friends, you know? Those friends who are passionate about Dragon Ball. Anyway, I count on your support and see you later.